What up with it, baby?
Hey, tell him what you told me.
What I tell you?
What you doing it for?
Oh, promotion, baby.
All right.
What
So
you
I
mean?
ain't gotta
But
him
hey,
up,
but we should spar.
I ain't gotta him up.
We should spar.
I want to show the world that I'm the best. After this fight, I want to be considered top 5 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, and I can't wait to show it.
You said this week that you were in for a rude awakening when you get to 140. What do you think he's in for when he goes up against you?
I think he just don't realize how good I am. I think come fight night, he's going to realize that I'm going to take it to another level that he has never seen before. So if he's expecting the Lomachenko, the Josh Taylor fight to happen, it won't be that type of fight. Tell him, we talking to senior. We ain't talking to little dude over here. Senior.
Every fight is a different version of me.
I know.
And I love it because even the people out there don't know what they're going to get from me. And that's the beauty about it. He could be studying, he could be doing a lot of things, but he's not going to know till the day of the fight. So
Terence Crawford sent a severe warning to Teofimo Lopez, emphasizing that underestimating shocker Stevenson would be a tremendous mistake.
The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's going to be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has, and given the opportunity, I think he can pose a great threat to everybody in the division.
I look up to Bud a lot. Honestly, he one of the realest dudes that I done met. He's still a normal person in his head. Like, he don't believe that he's above everyone else. That's how I feel about myself.
You seen me around a lot. Don't act like you ain't seen me around them days. He said I do.
Bud, come on. Terence talking, I try not to talk back. I try to just listen and
straight boom, straight shot. Like right here, boom, there you go. But you gotta make sure you step. Bam, that's when the motherfucker trying to run out.
Crawford stated that Shocker's timing accuracy and ring IQ are hazardous at the highest levels. He feels Shocker's defense creates traps that lead to clean counters, and that if Teofimo rushes or becomes reckless, Shocker can severely injure him and possibly knock him out.
I'm gonna just say all of them. It don't matter who they is. He ready for the big test and the big names, and he's going to do well with each and every one of them. And
Crawford also challenged Teofimo Lopez personally, which resulted in a tense moment. He attacked Teofimo's attitude and questioned his approach to shocker Stevenson. The exchange is serious and unpleasant, with Crawford emphasizing that dismissing Shocker's ability might have severe ramifications inside the ring. Terence Crawford stated confidence that when the time comes, shocker Stevenson would demonstrate to the world his full potential. He feels Shocker's focus, timing, and defensive awareness set him apart from others at the highest level. Crawford stated that once Shocker is in the spotlight, people will notice his technique, patience, and control and realize why he is regarded as one of the most complete fighters in boxing today. He also discussed his previous bouts.
Excellent. He was sharp. He was letting his hands go. He was standing in the pocket more. He probably got hit just a little bit too much because he was trying to please everybody that's saying, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that. I talked to him and told him, just be yourself. Just keep winning. It doesn't matter what the naysayers say and what the people that's having certain agendas against him.
Dan Canabio and Chris Algieri analyzed Teofimo Lopez's fight against Shocker Stevenson from a business and boxing perspective. They added that Matchroom, a boxing marketing organization, owns the Joshua card, making APBC Premier Boxing Champions crossover unlikely. They anticipate that if Teofimo loses, Shocker will remain at 140 and not return to 135, an unlikely event. The analysts regard 140 as a pleasant and deep division. They agree that Shocker struggles the least against brawlers and that counter-punchers should be tested, making some matchups unlikely. despite fan interest.
The Joshua card, so therefore we're not going to put a PBC fighter on it. Anyway, Gary Antoine, I mean, all these fights are good. Like, if Teofimo ends up losing to Shakur goes into this mix, and I do think Shakur will stay at 140 for a little bit. So, and you also have
I think he stays from now on. I don't think he goes back to 35.
Yeah, it's very rare we see these guys go down after they go up. You got to add in Shakur. You got to add in Pitbull Cruz. You got to add in Lamont Roach. There's some other good names on 140 as well. But yeah, I would say Smith presents something to this puzzle at 140 is that he's from England and he can sell over there. And if you're Hitchens, who's not the biggest ticket seller here in New York, and you want a unification, you think you can beat Dalton Smith, you might have to go overseas to do it, where you could make a lot more money. Gary Antoine Russell versus Smith stylistically is great. Shakur versus Dalton Smith is stylistically great. Shakur, it's just a fun division.
I don't want to see that.
What?
I don't want to see Shakur and Dalton.
I put that one at like 1% chance of ever happening.
I don't want to see that.
Even though, like, you don't think Smith presents like he's more of like would be the brawler in the Shakur scenario? I know he would be.
Yeah, that's the worst style to fight Shakur. It's the worst style. You have to counterpunch Shakur, just like with De Los Santos. He was the guy who gave Shakur the most trouble.
Cepeda gave Shakur the best, most aesthetically pleasing fight, but not that Smith's going to throw 100 punches around.
Completely different style, though. Cepeda and Dalton aren't. You can't compare them. That's apples and oranges. Yeah, no, I don't know.
But in terms of a guy coming forward.
But is Dalton really that guy?
According to analysts, the size disparity between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez could affect the outcome of the bout. Shakur is naturally larger, with a longer frame, wider shoulders, and a stronger base. Despite Teofimo's weight class championship, Shakur's strength and control have not diminished as he has advanced, and his body appears to have settled at 140. Analysts point out that size is more than just weight. It's also about leverage, balance, and how a fighter carries mass. Shakur's height, reach, and pose enable him to control distance and delay the fight. Teofimo focuses on explosive moments and power bursts, which are more difficult to land cleanly against a larger, disciplined defender. If Shakur uses his stature to lean, control space, and wear down Teofimo, the battle changes radically.
Shakur Stevenson is bigger than Teofimo Lopez. Despite him moving up in weight, and despite Teo being the champion, we got some action. And in this video, I'm going to show and prove and break it down. I'll make it make sense in this video. You got to stay to the end. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Ego Weight Watchers, aka EW, where I give you a look into the fighter's lifestyle before, after, progress pics, especially when they have an upcoming fight. I warned you, Shakur, I have no idea why he tried to play this game where when people...
Bernie the Boxer presents a detailed explanation why Shakur Stevenson stands out versus Teofimo Lopez. He underlines that Stevenson is a fighter who should not be underestimated or easily contained. Unlike many boxers who rely largely on sheer strength or one-dimensional strategies, Shakur takes a diverse approach. He blends technical perfection and strategic knowledge, making him surprising in the ring. Bernie points out that opponents frequently misread Shakur, believing that his calm attitude and controlled approach suggest a lack of anger or menace. In actuality, Shakur's ability to react and understand his opponent enables him to capitalize on opportunities as soon as they arise. This mix of patience, timing, and technique offers him a distinct advantage as boxers like Teofimo Lopez face an adversary who is not only gifted but also extremely disciplined in carrying out his game plan.
But couldn't beat a one-handed guy. And if you go back and watch that fight, like I'm saying, Shakur wasn't just running. Jermaine Ortiz really moved a lot on Teo. That never happened with Shakur Stevenson and fighting this guy. That never happened. So De Los Santos is De Los Santos. He got a reputation off of that. That boosted his reputation. I don't know why. He didn't do nothing to Shakur. He didn't wobble him, didn't hurt him, didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? And the man was one-handed. So, but shout out to De Los Santos. Like I say, I think he's more risk than reward. Actually, That'll be a great fight for Abdullah Mason in his first title defense. That'll be a great fight for him in his title defense. That'll be a good. They should use him for that
instead of Joe Cordina.
Yeah, Joe Cordina was rough too, though. I watched him against the kid from Fresno. What's the kid's name? I forget his name. They was pushing him, but he just ain't there. He took a lot of punishment. He probably need to go get a job. Gabriel Flores. Gabe Flores. Yeah, Gabe Flores. Yeah. He from Fresno. Or he from Sacramento. He from the Bay Area.
He just be training. Yeah, he be training.
Yeah. So I would say I would say that, you know what I mean? Because Abdullah Mason is the guy. You know, I think he got a lot of potential. And like I said, you know, him fighting a guy like De Los Santos is almost like a Bud fighting Gamboa in his first title defense. You know what I mean? So that would be a great fight for Abdullah Mason. You know what I mean? And he's more known than Joe Cordina. You know what I mean? And given the controversy that he's been in, you know what I'm saying? The way he's perceived as kind of feared, that'll be a great fight for Abdullah Mason.
Damn, my boy Bernie said that's like Gamboa versus Crawford for his first title defense. That shit is fire.
Terence Crawford adds another depth to this assessment by complimenting Shocker Stevenson in a brotherly and sympathetic manner. Crawford emphasizes that while some viewers may dismiss Shocker as monotonous, such an assessment overlooks the breadth of his abilities. Shocker's mastery in the ring is both subtle and profound. He can direct the course of a fight, making smart decisions that keep him safe while positioning himself to capitalize on mistakes. Crawford underlines that serious boxing fans can notice the brilliance in Shocker's technique, pointing out that his skill set extends beyond showy moves or knockouts. Stevenson's defining characteristics are calculated precision, defensive intelligence, and calibrated aggression. Crawford is certain that those who underestimate him are not fully aware of the situation.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like Tank?
No. Hey, like I said, I respect Tank. Boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
we gonna take his personality and personal things out of it. But boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter. You know, Shakur is different. You know, people may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they said the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive.
Shane Mosley comments in on fighting techniques and how they affect the outcome of fights. Mosley believes that the styles brought to the ring by both boxers will be the deciding factor. He emphasizes the importance of power, speed, and patience, and how these attributes interact to determine who dominates. Mosley observes that Shocker's methodical technique helps him to counteract raw aggression, whereas Teofimo's explosive strength and timing may test even the most composed opponent. The key, Mosley contends, is how efficiently each fighter can impose their tactics while adapting to the other's skills, making the combat a test of both talent and tactical intelligence.
Shakur Stevenson is going to get slower moving up in weight, or not? Where Teofimo can hit him. Maybe he was really fast at 130, 26-30, maybe 35, but 40, you put on a little bit more weight. Shakur Stevenson has a very strong style where he can sit back and pot shot you and box and stuff like that, where Teofimo can also box and is very athletic and can get from side to side and can make things difficult for you as well. So what style is going to impose on the other is what we want to see.
So which style will impose? Is it something where like the first rounds really will dictate, or?
I think you're gonna need a couple of rounds, but the first round is gonna be very interesting. Maybe you see some tails, but I think maybe 2 or 3 you're gonna start seeing one leave the other. Because I don't think that. Well, maybe. I mean, Shakur might show some different, if he has to go after Teofimo, he might show some different type of heart that we haven't seen, or different type of fighting we haven't seen, and vice versa, you know, whereas Teofimo's hitting him with different shots off the angle, that is kind of giving, you know, Shakur Stevenson trouble. We'll see about that.
Wade, a boxing expert, assesses the clash in terms of preparation and study. He notes that given their comparable histories through amateur and professional boxing systems, Teofimo, Lopez and Shocker Stevenson have most certainly spent a significant amount of time examining each other's approaches. This reciprocal familiarity creates an environment in which adjustments and counters are crucial. Wade argues that both fighters have the technical foundation to execute intricate plans, thus predicting and reacting to the opponent's actions is critical. The battle thus becomes a chess match in the ring, with minute tweaks and split-second decisions potentially determining the outcome.
That are about to fight each other, there's probably not guys that know how they operate better. So if Tio is saying, I'm going to go out there and make you quit, essentially break you and stop you, that's something we haven't seen anyone get close to even hurting Shakur, really. Like, people say the Williams-Zepeda fight, Zepeda hit him with the right hand and Shakur got wobbled, even though it was clearly slipped. I thought that was one of Shakur's better performances because he dug down and bit down on his mouthpiece and said, I'm not just going to play the back foot and be slick and turn this into a very low output fight that I'll win because I'm just, he's better than Zepeda. But he went out there and dogged it out a little bit, and I respected him for it. I don't expect him to fight the same way versus Teofimo Lopez. I really don't. And I think people are looking at the Zepeda fight and going, yeah, that's Shakur we want. And I don't want to say he's going to disappoint people, but he will not fight that way with Tio. He won't. And Tio won't fight the same way Williams Zepeda did. They'll both be very measured. I think it'll be a very slow-paced, low-output fight. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could see maybe they go to war or something, but we're talking about styles making fights, and Tio's style, even if he's on his front foot, he doesn't commit to a lot of punches on the front foot, but he can fight that way. Shakur almost exclusively wants to go defense to offense versus leading the exchange. So I don't know. Not to say Shakur will be on the back foot the whole time. That's not necessarily how I see the fight going, but I don't know if this is going to be like a knockdown, drag him out type of thing. I think we're going to get a defensive, sweet science display from both guys, which, by the way, I think works in Shakur's favor.
You said on there that Terence Crawford sent one of his little guys to come after you, implying that obviously you want.
Lamont Roach praises Stevenson's ring expertise, particularly his exquisite footwork, timing, and anticipation. These powers enable Shocker to control the speed and flow of the fight. Roach explains that dominating the ring entails more than just movement. It also includes creating angles, keeping equilibrium, and setting traps for opponents. Shocker's proficiency in these areas enables him to conserve energy while forcing opponents into fewer advantageous positions. By controlling space and timing, Stevenson can pressure opponents like Teofimo Lopez without overcommitting, demonstrating why he is regarded as a tactically superior boxer at this stage in his career.
Some people thought he lost to Sandoman. Who else?
He did beat Loma, who's arguably at the time considered one of the best in the world.
He did, and that was a hell of a performance too. A hell of a performance too. So yeah, I mean, I think he's hit or miss. You got to think he got stuff. He a little cuckoo too. Like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while. Look at the Kambosos fight. Like, that's a fight that people would never expect Kambosos to win. And he won a grueling match against him as well. So I just, I don't know. I don't think he can get it done against Shakur when it comes to like, because it's going to be just a skill match. I don't think he's going to try to. He's going to try to rough it.
Paulie Malignaggi discusses how Teofimo Lopez is perceived building up to significant fights. He sees that Teofimo Lopez is frequently subjected to criticism and underestimate, which is exacerbated when he faces a well-known fighter like Shocker Stevenson. Malignaggi notes that while the gap in attention and reputation can impact public expectations and media narratives, it does not reduce Teofimo's talents. Instead, it adds another element of mental struggle for both fighters. The huge stakes, along with Stevenson's technical prowess and Lopez's drive, set the stage for a thrilling showdown in which preparation, skill, and psychological resilience will all play important roles in selecting the victor.
Because Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out. And this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out. Because Shakur is looked at by and large as the guy who can dominate boxing in this generation, right? It's just a matter of him getting the opportunity. I myself have felt that he's the guy who could and should be dominating boxing if he gets the right matchups. But bro, this is one of the rare matchups, if not maybe the only matchup, where I feel like is a big threat here to Shakur. And then they would all come undone because of this reason. Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best, but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back to the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall, and he's just...
That's all for today's video, so keep tuned. Until next time.